welcome my co-host Paul Halls, author of the Hollow Man series, owner of Hollow Man Publishing, and Frank Fiore, host of Fridays with Frank. Frank, we interview all different types of people. You see this in my career, 15 years, how you never know who's going to be on the show, right, Frank?
Oh yeah, I mean we're just so we go far and wide. It's fascinating that the people that we bring on. It's really something that these podcasts at Fridays with Frank you really should see because you never know what's going to pop up.
Exactly. And today we have Alex Shalbaf with us. He is the founder of the Fragrance Group and also Mind Games. We're going to talk about both of them. Alex, thanks for stopping by, man. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Nice to meet you.
All
I'm
right, so
excited
let's
to be
talk
here.
about how did you get involved in the fragrance business?
For me, raw ingredients, and the love for art of perfume making. For me, it's a complex process. It's a very fascinating, delicate, process of blending different ingredients together to create a composition, which in our world we call it the juice. So to create the juice, it's an art. It's a complicated process, which it could be very addictive. And in my case, I'm fully addicted to blending different raw ingredients and see what they smell when they're put together.
All right,
So
good.
that's
Yeah,
really
that's
the
really interesting.
DNA
Yeah,
of why I like to make fragrance.
absolutely. Good, Frank, to your question.
Yeah, do fragrances have a base?
Uh,
Your base that you start from, and more something that's common almost in every fragrance.
uh, no, but every fragrance has top, middle, and dry. We call it the TMD, and the dry is known as base, but it really is not a common, um, phenomenon between all the fragrances, right? So it's not a base that it's the same for every fragrance. Fragrances normally are made with various ingredients, and they are put together as part of an olfactive family. So you could have a floral family, fruity family, woody, leathery, sheep, vetiver. So it depends on really what ingredients we are focused on. So let's say if I want to make a fruity fragrance that it's focused on fresh citrusy notes, I start to build, molecules or raw materials that are like grapefruit or tangerine, or orange, and then you start to create the top, and then you create the middle of the fragrance, and then you have the base where you put more heavier ingredients to create longevity and make sure that the fragrance lasts for a long time. So it really depends on the category you're focused on. So if you are to say uh, one fragrance has a fruity note that it's focused on fresh citruses, and then another one also is focused on citruses and fresh notes, then yes, you could say they have very similar ingredients. So they are because they're in one family, right? And then if it's a leathery fragrance and another perfumer creates another leathery fragrance, we all use those notes. It's just the way you use them will create a different result for me than, let's say, another perfumer.
So
It's
talk. Go,
almost
go.
like it's almost like programmers. They have a certain set of routines that they use in common, and that's fascinating.
Correct. So we have access to the same more or less raw ingredients, but the way you put them together is where the art of perfumery comes together, right? It's a true art. Like think of it as an artist who paints on canvas,
Yeah.
right? So you paint on canvas, I paint on canvas. We use red, blue, purple, same oil-based, oils or colors. Uh, right? So if I use the same oils that I buy from my supplier, and I buy my canvas from the supplier, you could go and buy the same stuff, right? But the way you paint is different than the way I paint. So you have your style of painting, I have my style of painting, and then the end results are going to be completely different. But the ingredients you use are exactly the same ingredients I use. So you could think of it like that.
So talk about mind games as well. We kind of started how you got involved in the fragrance industry. Tell us about mind games.
So mind games as a brand is a there are a few things that sets it apart from some of the other brands that are on the market. The first thing is that it's an original idea. It's not the concept of mind games is focused on the game of chess, which provides a lot of complexity, and it has so many combinations that a player can make. Very similar to a perfumer that we spoke about earlier. I can make so many different combinations with 15 ingredients, and you as another perfumer using the same 15 ingredients, you can make so many possibilities, so many different combinations. So it's driven by the complexity and the art of the game of chess. So it has a very original identity. It's sustainably, all the ingredients are sustainably sourced through a partner that we have called Simrise in Germany. So it's very environmentally friendly, and we have a very low impact on the environment. Our other point of difference is that we have very unique fragrances that they last for a very long time. And for me, it's always coming down to the quality of the juice that we talked about earlier. So it's a true industry phenomenon since we launched it 2 years ago, and now we are in a lot of points of distribution, and it's doing very well.
Well, I'm really excited for you, Alex. Go ahead, Paul. Do you have a question for Alex?
I don't. I'm way out of my ballpark here, Alex. I'm actually lucky I can smell dinner when it's ready. So I'm not a great fragrance kind of person. Yeah. So sorry.
All right.
Okay,
So I have tons of questions, Alex. It's basically, where do you see yourself ranked as one of the fragrance mind games and what you're doing in the fragrance industry?
So we are a company that we've been around for almost 17 years, but Mind Games is fairly new. It's 2 years old. But in terms of it being ranked in the US, we are ranked in the top 4 brands in America at the moment. We are expanded into many countries in Europe, in Middle East, and in Mexico, actually. So we are going to continue to grow the brand in the next 2 to 3 years to become a major global luxury fragrance brand. That's our
congratulations in your sales of 35 million
Yep.
so far. That's fantastic for you, and you're
Thank
doing
you.
fantastic. I see a fragrance podcast in the works. We're gonna have to reach out to your team, and we'll see if that
I
happens.
would love to.
Oh yeah, I have an idea, and I always come up with ideas. That would be another one for your busy schedule, a fragrance podcast.
Yes.
All right, where you get all your different things involved. Well, appreciate it, Alex. Appreciate it. Best place people can find info on you. Where can they go?
Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's. These are some of our key retail partners.
All right. I'll definitely want to have a strategy session with you sometime. So I'll reach out to your team and see if we can schedule that call. Appreciate it again,
It was a
Alex.
pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
That was a special simulcast in the